Alright, this video is for Jay. I have your quad finished up. So here it is right here. This one is kind of special to me because this is basically one of the first toothpicks that I've made. Well, it's not really the first HD toothpick that I've made, but it's the first HD toothpick that I've made that fits in the stack. No using adapters or any kind of printed parts or anything like that. It's just straight up because it has the baby turtle whoop. I was kind of confused when I first saw that, and if anybody else is confused, I'll tell you right now. So Caddx came out with the turtle, then they had the turtle V2. They're both 20 by 20. Then recently they came out with the baby turtle, which is basically a turtle V2 with a 14 by 14 camera attached to it instead of a 20 by 20 or a 19 by 19 camera. Then after that they came out with another turtle, which is the baby turtle whoop. And that's the board that's in here. I can't really show it to you. I should have showed it before I built this thing, but you can see right here is the slot for the SD card. And it has mounting holes for a whoop style flight controller. So one thing that I noticed though is that the baby turtle whoop, the mounting holes are 25 millimeter. And the mounting holes for the GE PRC 12 amp flight controller is 25.5 millimeters. So it's a half. The GE PRC flight controller is a half a millimeter bigger. Is that right? Yeah. Than the baby turtle. So when I was first starting to build this, I was going to attempt to put the HD board down first, and then the flight controller on top of it, because I was going to put the flight controller upside down. And it ended up, when I put the turtle down first, it made the screws kind of suck in, so they were all bent in at an angle, and then I couldn't get the flight controller on, so I had to put the flight controller first. I wasn't sure that I was going to do it HD board first anyway. I was just kind of dry fitting. I dry fitted it like probably 10 times before I finally built it. But if you put the flight controller down first, pop the plugs off and direct solder the motors, put the board down to where the USB is coming out the bottom. You know, and you can see here, obviously, I use some little M2 grommets or whatever. I think these are the ones that come with like the Mamba stack, the Mamba Mini. So I used one underneath the flight controller, and then 3 above the flight controller, and then the whoop, and then the baby turtle board. So it turned out pretty nice. Everything's lined up how it should be. It wasn't too difficult. It was kind of a pain in the ass to you know, measure the wires out for like the receiver and the VTX, and then solder them up, and then you got to put the whoop, I keep calling it whoop, then you put the baby turtle board down, and then you can bring the receiver and VTX around, wrap it around, and mount them however. I mean, that's just for this particular build, because, you know, since I'm using this canopy, if you're using a canopy that doesn't have the hole in the back like that, then it's going to be a problem for you to be able to access your VTX and receiver. So that's why I prefer this type of canopy. So right here, this green and black wire, that is for accessing your camera's settings. Alright, so it's very easy to get to that. You got your little board right here. In this bag also has your screws for your props. So you might notice these props, these are 2-inch props. They're, what are they? I don't even remember. I know they're HQ. I think they're 2030s or 2020. 2 by 2 by 4. Alright, so they're 2-inch, 20-degree pitch, 4-blade. I've never tried these out before. I just got one set just because I saw that they were new props, and I always want to try out new props. The first time I hovered this thing, I was like, oh my god, the control was insane. I felt like I just had total, complete control, like way more than any other quad. It was just crazy. So far, I'm really liking these props. Sorry, I can't give them to you, just because this is my only set. If I had 2 sets, I swear to God, I would give you one of them. But I am giving you 2 sets of the T65s. Alright, so those are excellent props. And like I said, the screws for them will be in this bag. So yeah, you can just pull this out, tuck it back in, however you want. The camera, the lens looks really nice. I forgot what they call this lens, a glass or a 7G or something like that. I don't remember, but it looks pretty nice. The image looks really nice too. I was totally surprised because, like I've said before in the past, when you got Crossfire next to the VTX, you run into problems where you get lines in the video, like really bad lines sometimes. But got lucky on this one, I guess, because I don't know if it's how I ran the wires, because like I said before, when I had that problem on another quad, I run all the grounds together, and that seems to help a lot. So, and then the other thing I do, like I said before, is I mount the VTX to the back of the camera so it's up and away from the receiver a little bit. I don't know if you can see if I move this buzzer here. The receiver is almost touching the VTX, so it's not really that far away from it. But at least you can access your VTX button right here. I also ran Smart Audio through Crossfire. There's your receiver right here. And the bind button, you probably can't see it on camera, but when you have it in person and you look down in here, you'll see a little piece of the heat shrink that I cut out, and you can see the silver for where the bind button is, and I'm clicking it right now, so it's easy to click it. You probably can't see it on video, but it's right there. You might not even have to push the bind button, but in case you do, or for updating or whatever, you know. The battery holder. So this is a battery holder that holds a 525 3S. I figured I would just mount on here the bigger one, because the smaller one, it's like it'll fit like a 302S. The other one, not this one. The other one fits like a 302S, maybe a 450. I think it does fit a 452S. And I know I have one somewhere though, and I'm gonna give it to you. Oh, here we go. Found one. It's blue. It's not black, but yeah. See, this one will fit a 452S. It kind of stretches. You can see the little wiggly half circle. So yeah, 452S fits in there nice and snug, and then like a 302S is a little loose, but you could fix that with foam or whatever, wrap some tape around the battery or something. It still wouldn't slide out, but then if you wanted like a 3S, well, here's a 525, it definitely won't fit in there. But this one's actually made to fit to this exact battery right here, 525 3S race. Just like that, 525 fits in there nice and snug, because it was actually designed for this battery. So yep, this thing's a beauty. I wish it was mine. Turned out pretty nice. Alright, so I'll just test it with these props and a 3S battery. It's already bound up to my radio. I didn't even have to push the bind button. I just push bind on the back of my module, and it bound right up within like 2 seconds, which is why I love Crossfire. So we'll plug it in, we'll show you the video, show you the Smart Audio working, and do a little hover. So you can see it's bound up and on, and there's no black lines. There is a little bit of noise, but I am actually shocked at how clear it is. And that's just the video feed. Obviously your HD video is gonna look crazy good, but alright, so let me grab my radio and we'll show you smart audio, in case you've never used it through Crossfire. You just depends on if you have this one. So if you have this one, you just hold down the button and go down to where it says VTX, and that's it. You got all your settings right here. Alright, and as soon as you change something, it instantly changes it. If you have the micro module, what you do is you hold down the top button, middle button, click Crossfire, Crossfire Lua, execute, and I think it's in Nano RX, should be right here at the top. Yep, there you go. Just like that. Alright, so let's do a little hover. I hovered it earlier, but I only used 2S, so let's go for 3S now. See how that does on these props. Here we go. Oh yeah, damn, that's nice. Look how smooth it's just sitting there. Damn. God, these props are just so good. Oh my God. Just amazing. Seriously. Amazing, amazing props. For real. That's crazy. They're nice and snug too. The shaft hole is on the smaller side, so you don't even have to use screws. But anyway, there you go, man. There is your toothpick whoop. I think there might be a couple more things that I forgot, like or no, I showed you the SD card slot. Oh, the button for starting and stopping is actually right behind right here, right below where that white plug is, and all you have to do is just push in on the canopy and you can feel it click. See, I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, that's nice. Be able to just push the canopy in, click it on and off, very easy. Let's see if there's anything else. That should do it. Got your USB on the bottom there. Alright, I'm going to box it up and ship it out, and I'll send you out some tracking. Alright, thanks, Jay.